Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Hope you're all doing very well on this fine Saturday, the 24th of December. Hello, morning, Lewis, from the States. Whereabouts in America are you again, Lewis? Remind me. Jack came in yesterday with an Up the Tigers. I saw that when I came on to do my team news little banner that scrolls along the bottom. Isaac says Up the Tigers. How you doing, Owen? How you doing, Isaac? Batakan merhaba. Merry Christmas. I don't know how to say that in Turkish. You're in Florida. Of course you are. You're in for God's sake, I've gone out of focus. Right. Hopefully this sorts itself out. Anyway, while we're waiting for my camera to stop having an aneurysm, I have a special guest today. It's sorted itself out now. Perfect. Owen's buzzing for Boxing Day. I have a special guest. It's a man that you will be familiar with if you saw a couple of my vlogs from last year. And it's a man you will be familiar with if you watch his own stuff as well. Leo didn't realise it was going to be this early. And Leo, I have a special guest for you. Marcus, welcome to the previews.
Hello, that was early. How are you doing?
Were you not expecting me to come to bring you in so soon?
No, I thought it would be 10, 15 minutes, mate. I was just watching, enjoying myself.
Fair enough. It's Christmas Eve. The camera's still sleepy. Hey, Christmas Day is the one where it catches you out, mate.
I'll tell you what, Christmas is going to be good. We've got Boxing Day football as well. How good's it?
We didn't have Boxing Day football last year, did we? Because
no, COVID.
Got COVID. And I'm going to be brutally honest, I was actually quite glad because I was absolutely knackered. And it got to sort of 1:30. Going to have to go for the football now, aren't we? And then the statement came out.
To be fair, Blackburn's one of those teams where they're really good at the start of the season, end of the season, they'll lose to Accrington Stanley. It's one of those. I think we probably could have won against them.
Had we played them on Boxing Day, we'd have got battered.
Potentially.
But I think the feel-good factor of Adrian coming in, it all clicked. It all clicked on that Tuesday, the 17th of January, I think it was.
There we go.
Fantastic. Ruben, how you doing? You're not going. That's poor. That's poor from you, pal. That's very, very poor. And my camera is also something very, very poor. Rather have a Christmas buffet at your grandma's. Fair enough. Yeah, you're not wrong.
You can't go wrong with a Christmas buffet. Now, I am saying that because I am an overweight man, but I tell you what. Can't go wrong. I'll tell you what. I'll be fighting for pigs and blankets tomorrow.
As will I. As will I. Leah remembers he was there at 12 for nothing. I bet that was painful. Pal. Coxie, good afternoon. Alayar back feeling confident. Yeah. Lewis, obviously, you're not going. You're in America, pal. Speaking of Alayar, should we get into some team news, Marcus?
No, I think we should just sit here and just have a chat, really, mate. No.
Okay, well, I'm going to overrule you. I'm going to say I'm going to get into some team news, mate. Liam Rosenior has confirmed that Alayar Sayadmanesh will be in the matchday squad to face Blackpool on Boxing Day after recovering from a hamstring injury picked up back in August against Burnley. Rosenior also confirmed that Alfie Jones has recovered from the illness that kept him out of the 1-1 draw against Sunderland a week ago. That's why Cyrus Christie was playing at centre-back because it only happened on the day and they just had to shoehorn in a solution. However, Nathan Baxter has suffered a minor setback to the ankle injury that meant he didn't go to Turkey during the World Cup break. And his absence is only expected to be short, but Liam Rosenior is waiting for clinical feedback and they're getting loads of different opinions from specialists just to sort of keep his development and not hinder his career with his recovery from injury. Tete and Traore, hamstring for Tete and hamstring or Achilles for Traore, don't know which. They're on track for mid to late January returns. Tete is back in full training today. James Scott, Traore, Tete and Josh Emmanuel all remain unregistered. Demetrius Pelkas, knee. Salah Adine, Uladam, hand, groin/pelvis. And Vaughan Colville with his knee problem all remain unavailable. Afternoon, Ashley. How are you? Leo said you're looking good in that hat, Marcus.
Oh, you know what, Leo? That means a lot, mate. I thought I'd get dressed up. You know, it's a special moment for me to be on. You know, old Grandpa Joe's vlogs. What a man!
Been a while since you've been on mine, isn't it? Huddersfield would have been the last time.
It was, mate, and I was absolutely bricking it. I must admit. I mean, I'd never met you before, and yeah, we had a good chat. And now it's
I'm
been
thinking the Huddersfield away one where you were stood next to me.
Oh, right. No, I was thinking about last season, mate. No,
yeah,
that
it was
was
the
a
Huddersfield game, wasn't it? Oh my god.
blow me neck, mate. No, that was a dreadful performance, honestly.
Yeah,
To
it
be
was.
fair.
Eavesy getting sent off was just pain, wasn't it? There we go. It sorted itself out.
There we go, mate.
La 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 la. Lotta Tyler. You know what? I'm not against starting Tim. I'm not against starting Tim at all.
I say we get Harry Fisk in at boxing there, see how he does.
Bit of Harry Fisk. David Robson and Andy Smith were back in training with the first team when they put the video out of them prepping for Blackpool. Andy Smith, I presume, gets to do like a certain day at City and then the rest with Grimsby. And then...
Where is Crawley?
Crawley? Is it not?
Yeah. Playing with Toby and Jed.
And this is a good start. Just my thing just totally froze then.
Brilliant.
Ruben says, "Get me in there. I'm well good in your prime." I'm not going to reveal your age, Ruben, but at your age, considering I see you round sort of what is college for me, what is school for you, you are absolutely not in your prime. Absolutely not.
I'll tell you what, you could probably do better than Matt Ingram with that Ross Stewart shot, honestly.
But it was right in front of me, and it was a shame, really, because it's 4 hours away from Crawley. That's south, very, very south of London. Back onto that point, but no, it was.
You can't beat Hull.
Yeah, and Lewis has mentioned it there. Ruben Ingram is so bad. Leo watching is having a long cry at those outlandish statements.
We do apologise, mate. To be fair, I rate Matt Ingram over Nathan Baxter, but I mean, you have to pick fault with that, honestly.
Yeah, because he's
like a ballerina.
See, what he should have done, instead of just backing off, was come right out of his box and just boot it out for a throw-in.
To be honest, I'd do the same than Matt Ingram. I'd just jump and hope, to be honest with you.
But
it was all in the moment at the end of the day.
He expected Stewart to chip it, didn't he? And it just didn't happen. Because he waited that extra sort of half second. Knew Ingram jumped right, slot it right underneath him. But it's awful positioning from the two centre halves. It's awful positioning.
To be fair, I think defending we've been quite good over the past couple of months. Since Liam Rossini's got him, we've worked our way up. I don't know whether we'll be onto it in a bit, but passing it around the back is doing my head in, honestly.
Oh, no, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think we'll all, those of you who don't love it, will come to love it when we get the results from it.
Yeah, but when Matt Ingram's got the ball right and Ross Stewart's pressuring him and he turns into a ballerina doing all his step overs, turning into Ronaldo back in his prime, that does matter. Honestly, my heart goes every 5 minutes when Sean McLaughlin tries to pass it to Matt Ingram. I'll tell you what, I don't think I can do it much longer.
You have a quick run to the toilets in W4.
I would reckon so, mate. I'll tell you what, though, the North Stand food's good. I don't think that'll be doing my stomach. I'm not even at North Stand, I meant West Stand. I'm freezing under pressure here.
You're under no pressure, pal. You're under absolutely no pressure whatsoever. This is the chillest I am in videos and stuff. I feel like Sunderland shouldn't have been allowed the goal. Tufan was fouled. I don't think Tufan was fouled, personally. Let's agree to disagree on that one, Ashley. Exactly. Push forward.
It takes a lot to knock Tufan
up the M4. Up the M4. But Ruben, it's a process. You've got to start somewhere, and it's in terms of dragging the space, like, pulling them out from the space by moving it around and then around the back, and then you can move it into the midfield where the space is, and then get Seri to just do whatever he wants because the man's a machine.
To be honest, I did prefer it when Jacob Greaves just hoofed it up from kickoff. It helped my nerves a lot.
Well, no, I hate that because we did it under McCann, we did it under Arveladze, and we did it under Andy Dawson as well. I absolutely hate it when we've got kickoff and we've got our chance to build starting with the ball, and every single time it'd either go to Tobias Figueiredo or Sean McLaughlin, and it'd just be sent long. And we've got no one up front who compete for headers. Doing a diagonal towards Keane Lewis Potter last season was the most pointless thing we ever did. Because if I stand up here,
right.
if I stand up here, Keane is like here. He's not winning a header against me.
Well, I think this season though, with Ben Tete when he comes back, I don't know how tall he's. What, 6'5", 6'6"?
6'5", 6'6", yeah.
He's massive. He's winning headers. Don't get me wrong. It's not the most pleasant thing when we lose it, but when it works, it's beautiful, honestly, Joe. It's like the sunset in Hull.
Like the sunset in Hull. My God, the sun never comes out. Hey, no, it's actually out today. It's from over that side.
I wouldn't know, mate. See, my name's ironic, the Hull boy, but I don't live in Hull. I live near York, so...
Right, and let's move on to Ref Watch, where I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. It's Gavin Ward again.
Oh, brilliant.
It's not. It's John Brooks. The two liners are Mark Stevens and Akil Howson, and the fourth official is Andrew Kitchen. Right. And then we'll shuffle on to stats. We'll make some progress, because I saw a comment by Leo, which is probably hinting, Joe, get a move on, you idiot. So against Sunderland, then, I think, the possession, that's the way Rossini wants to play. Keep the ball, control the game, and the shots and the shots on target stuff, that shows that they had much more defending to do than us. And in terms of passing, that's beautiful. And that pass accuracy, oh yeah, that's incredible. But
it is, but to be honest with you, Joe, it's bloody boring. Without being rude, passing it around for 90 minutes. I'd like to see some goals. Yeah, it's great. We've had two 0-0 draws earlier, and then that 1-1, which should have been a 1-0 win. I was disappointed with that, but don't get me wrong. When you're doing vlogs, you want to see some action. 10 minutes in, Sean McLaughlin's passed it back to Matt Ingram. He's done a step over and hoofed it. It's not great.
Stuff of dreams, that, pal.
Sure it is, mate. Sure it is. But to be all honest with you, mate, we are doing a lot better than expected. To be honest, I had my doubts under Liam Rossini. He hasn't proved himself. He didn't have the experience that we all wanted him to have. But he's done well. And
he has done well.
Obviously...
And I think the reason it took so long to get him in was because Ajun knows he got the Shotter appointment so wrong.
What happened with Martins? I saw him at MKM not that long ago.
Yeah, it was at our win against Wigan under Andy Dawson, expected to sign and be announced. But then we pulled out the deal because he wanted too much money, and he's now managing in Qatar. So he wanted to just fleece us for everything.
Oh, we have.
Yeah. Ashley, when I said it's Gavin Ward, but don't do that to me. And then I am going to Wigan. I'm not doing Birmingham because it's that weird time between Christmas and New Year where it's just odd.
It's like 8 o'clock on a Friday night, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a nice little ground, is Birmingham.
Well, every time I've been there, it's been a disappointment. The first time I went, we lost 3-0 in April 2018 in the snow. And I got and we were right front row as well. So we had no cover from it.
Brilliant, mate.
And then, half time to warm myself up, I got a hot chocolate, but they didn't give me a starer.
Well, I'll tell you what, hot chocolates at football are poor. I'm going to relate this to food again. But it's always really watery, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
you want to get a nice cup. You want to get your caramel in. I'm not sure about other people, but you drink it. It's like having a nice hot cup of water. There's nothing to it. It's just different colours.
That's because you've got to stare it for about 3 weeks, but they didn't give me a starer. So I was just drinking a cup of hot water with a clump of chocolate at the bottom and queuing for it. I missed Birmingham's bloody third goal.
Thomas. It's ideal, isn't it? To be fair, though, Birmingham looked deadly. And I know we're not previewing Birmingham, but Hannibal Medjbury, it's given me nightmares since that game.
He's a right.
He did spend more time on the floor than Neymar does in a World Cup, but still all right. Still decent player. Big future.
He has got a big future, hasn't he? Marcus, not you, reckons 2-0 City. Ashley says, feel a little bad for what happened to Carlos Carvajal because he left his job in the Middle East, then got told by us he wasn't getting hired. Interesting. Well, Ruben, good to know you're absolutely oozing with confidence, mate.
That's what
I'm going to go back to Leo's comment. Charlie Patino, he knows the way to go. And that is because it's time for head-to-head battles. And Marcus,
can I just get something really quickly, Joe?
I was going to come to this after we've looked at the squad, but if you want to, Joe, go for it.
No, you do it. It's your live.
So Chris Maxwell was Blackpool's number 1 when we got promoted with them. We went up as champions. They went up through the playoffs in League One. But at the moment, Dan Grimshaw is their number 1, and Stuart Moore, I believe, is their number 2. In the last game, they played with the 4-4-2 with Callum Connolly at right back, Luke Garbutt there at left back. The 2 centre backs were Reece Williams on loan from Liverpool and James Husband. Marvin Ekpateta was suspended for our game against them at Bloomfield.
What's the chances of Jordan Lawrence Gabriel getting into the team?
Well, we can come to that again in just a second. In midfield, they had, you can't find him, but they had Shane Lavery on the right and Jerry Yates on the left. Within the midfield, Charlie Patino and Kenny Dougal. Kevin Stewart, former City player there. And then their 2 strikers were, there he is, Sonny Carey and Gary Medine. Gary Medine, always a goal threat at this level. Theo Corbeneau, or maybe Teo Corbeneau, don't know. Not in the squad for that one. He did quite impress. I think when we beat them earlier this season, I think out of their squad, he was one of the better players. And Ian Poveda was benched in the last game on loan from Leeds. Liam Bridcut, the experienced championship journeyman, if you will. But Marcus has a special connection to a certain Arsenal youngster on loan.
I'll go get it, mate.
In that squad.
Right. Now then. Charlie Patino. What a man.
Explain your bond with Charlie Patino.
Well, my dad has dementia and I collect football shirts for him and I have an Instagram account. I'm not sure whether I can plug it on a live stream, but
go for it.
Marcus underscore football
from the screen. Off you go.
But basically, I know Charlie. He follows me on Instagram and he sent a shirt for my dad last time we played them. When was it? November or is it October time this season? So it's probably not the best person to get on the live stream when you know 3 Blackpool players because there's that bit of bias as well. I want them to do well and not us to batter them. But yeah, I highly doubt that, mate. We don't batter no one, do we?
I do want us to batter them.
Yeah, but we're at home, mate. There's more chance of Keane Lewis Potter coming back.
Pardon?
I said there's more chance of Keane Lewis Potter coming back than us winning at home anytime soon, to be honest with you.
Hey, you never know. Sounds like Rosenior likes Vale and Simons, so I guess we won't be sending them back. Vale didn't show anything when he came on versus Sunderland. Well, he did only have 7 minutes.
That's what I was going to say, mate.
I've said this a load of time now. Vale needs to be played in his position, and that's Cam. Blackpool away was class, to be honest. Well worth the trip. Now, what I'll say to Vale and Simons, I don't think it's necessarily up to Liam Rosenior. I think the view of Chelsea will be, yes, I get you like them, but they're not playing, and we need them to kind of develop. So they'll basically stick 2 fingers up at Liam Rosenior and say, sorry, we're having him back. Which,
to be honest with you,
I'd be happy if that happened. Go for it.
To be honest, Joe, when Harvey Vale signed, I was so excited.
So was I. I was buzzing.
To be honest with you, I didn't think we'd play he doesn't have the experience. He's one of those players where we've got that many midfielders. We signed, about 4 or 5 in the summer. I know half of them are injured now, but I just thought maybe a backup. But Harvey Vale, he looked like one of Chelsea's best academy product. I mean, they rated him so highly. And you'd have thought, I don't know, we don't see training, but you'd have thought we'd play him a lot more. I thought he'd be a bit like Mason Mount when he was older. Smash it on loan in the Championship, come back to Chelsea and be the starter. It doesn't seem like that.
Well, Rosenior said that Xavi and Harvey, they're doing all the stuff that he wants them to do in training. But we've got a team here and he needs to make us hard to beat. So in the summer then, we signed Tufan, Seri, Ryan Woods, Traore, Simons, Pelkas, who all and Vale, and Salah, all who can play in midfield / as a 10.
Yeah, reading them names, the only one who's made a big difference at the moment is probably Seri. The rest of them we don't start. Sidic, another one of them where you think, what was the point? I mean, when he came on, I thought he was a game changer. But it's like, I'm going to link this to another player. You'll know Donny van der Beek. When he came on, everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing. And when he came on, he changed the game. But it just seems he's not in the position or has the attitude to be a starter, which links to Sidic. We don't know what's been happening in training. But he just seems like one of those players that could really, what we need to win a game, that extra bit of ability.
I think he's exactly like Ali, where he's not scared to just run at teams.
Oh, so, Ali back. Oh, I'm buzzing, mate, honestly.
Ali back will be massive. Vale's rumour came out on deadline day, seems like a panic buy. I'd say the same about Xavier Simons, to be fair. I think they were more depth signings. It sounds like we'll be signing that Palace winger who played under Rosenior, so who drops out for him? Rosenior's player wanted to play over a player who's already here. I don't think Ali will drop out. I think most likely Ebiowi will go on the left.
It's one of those.
One of Woods, Slater, Pelkas, or one of them out, doesn't it? Pelkas when fit, of course.
I don't see the point in signing Malcolm. I'm not going to pronounce his second name because I butcher it. But that's it. I mean, you look at our bench, right? What was the point of signing all these wingers? You get Salah back soon. I don't know what he's out. Adama, Traore as well. He's coming back soon. They can all play on the wing. What's the point in signing another player who's probably going to end up on the bench again? Because it seems like whatever we do, Ryan Longman will be starting for Hull City.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think Longman's clearly got quality. It's just the consistency that he lacks. He had a nice run under Andy Dawson, but I think it's just his consistency that lets him down. And you know, I love Ryan. You were there when I spoke to him after that Huddersfield game where he was booed off the pitch and said, "You're not fit to wear the shirt" and stuff. And
he's one of those players.
After that, his form picked up. So I'm not taking any credit or anything, but
tactical genius, Joe. To be fair, he's one of the only players that has passion for the club. Now, I'm not being like that, but Ryan Longman, there's quite a few that do, but, you know, not to be on like a social media sort of person, but he always posts on social media, backing the boys no matter the result. Whereas you see some of them who only post if they've done well. And I don't like to point things out at players.
Ozan.
Cynic.
Jokan.
To be fair, they have a lot of big followers. You know, they've got hundreds of thousands of followers. So
they don't want to be posted about losing, do they?
Yeah, precisely. I mean, Ozan was probably one of the most famous Turkish players about. I mean, I was studying him. He's gone from being wanted by all the big Premier League clubs to a bench at Hull City. But I love the guy. What a nice guy, honestly.
Yeah, Ozan's really nice, isn't he? Malcolm Ebiowi, actually. I've started doing some prep for January for my new signing videos. So I've got 8 little squares.
Is James Scott one of them?
No, it's for signings, this one.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So I've got Malcolm Ebiowi on here. And some little facts about Malcolm Ebiowi. He was managed by Peter van der Veen, Netherlands under-15s.
Yeah,
he's of Nigerian descent, but he's eligible to play for the Netherlands and England as well.
Bit like Salah,
And-
innit? He's got loads of countries he can play for.
And then Ebio, we actually made his derby debut last season against us when we went to their place and lost at Pride Park. And then Ryan Porteous, another one. He's interested. He's got interest from like Stoke, Millwall, loads of teams. Watford. He'd be a real coup.
So this Ryan guy, he's got all these options. He could live the luxury life in London, or he could come to sunny Hull and play for a relegation scrap side.
He'll get more for his money in Hull than he will in London. If he gets paid 15 grand a week here, that'll be worth more than 15 grand a week down in London.
I suppose. But then again, Stoke, what a beautiful place.
Oh my God. Your sarcasm is terrifying. Mark.
Oh yeah, I get ripped apart for my optimism. I always predict us to lose no matter what. We could be on the run of our life, won 8 in a row, and I still say we'll lose 1-0 to Rotherham. It's one of those. But no.
In my opinion, we were lucky to get a point against Sunderland. We should have battered them. I think you meant to say unlucky there. Who would drop out the back two if Porteous signs? For me, you go to Christie on the right, Porteous, Greaves, and Fleming. Sorry, Sean. But it's probably Christie, Porteous, McLaughlin, Greaves.
Well, Joe, I'm not sure if you're going to be covering this, but have you heard the leak? Apparently,
the Brandon Fleming stuff.
Yeah,
I don't believe that for a second.
I have no idea. I've only seen what people have sent me, but yeah, I'm not going to say who's been leaking it, but it does seem a bit worrying. I mean, I've seen Brandon outside of games not looking happy. He's been in the matchday squad for months. He's fully fit, and it just seems something's happened behind the scenes because he's got the ability. And I've said it before, last year he was incredible, but then again, you have to look at the fact he'd been playing with Keno all his academy days, so he knows him really well. He hasn't really had the opportunity.
This season he was injured from the start, wasn't he? So he hasn't really had the opportunity under Shotter, and then he's only.
Yeah, I mean it is unfair to be fair. You get these players that do really well in the past seasons, one injury and that's their career gone. In terms of starting, I can't remember. Greg Doherty, didn't he get injured last year and he was doing really well, and then for the rest of the season he was on the bench or something like that?
No, Doherty was dreadful last year, and he knows it.
I love Greg Doherty.
It's true, he's admitted it himself. I'm allowed to say it because he said it.
Yeah, I suppose his first touch wasn't the greatest in football, but it's one of them where he didn't get the. It's one of them where he doesn't get the opportunities. We don't see what happens in training, but once you've lost your place, it's hard to cement it back. But he has done this year, and we're all really proud of Greg Doherty.
He has done very well this year. Guess Rossini wants more pacey wingers, and unfortunately, Longman just doesn't have that pace to frighten defenders. But I tell you, a man who does.
Well, I'll tell you what. Ryan Longman he's very skillful, but the problem is his shooting at the moment. I don't. You sit right behind the goal, so I'm sure you'll have a lovely collection of mitre balls that you've picked out over the days.
Puma balls now, mate.
Oh, Puma, we've upgraded.
Brilliant. It's a massive downgrade, that.
No,
a massive downgrade from Mitre.
Well, I've collected a few over the time. We've had, Pelkas's shot. I don't know if you remember that one.
Pelkas from this year. McGuinness's penalty.
Oh, brilliant. Well, Troy Deeney's penalty, that would have been caught by a couple of them. That was a class penalty.
Oh, yeah. God. Unbelievable.
To be fair, it's all right to joke. We got battered that day, and it should have been 3 or 4, to be fair to you.
It should have been. Lewis says, Beg, we signed that Ryan Porteous. I noticed a lot of Sunderland fans in the West Stand when they celebrated. Luckily, they didn't have a riot. Think it's bad. It is bad, but then how do you stop it? There's nothing you could really do to stop it. Either of them would be fine. What's the Fleming stuff about? Basically, some bloke on Twitter says, I've had inside information that Fleming's off, and then sort of half revealed his source with a Welsh flag. And then we've only got 2 Welsh players, one of which is out on loan at the minute. So everyone's like, it's Callum Jones, it's Callum Jones. And then he said it's not Callum Jones. So I think it's all complete horseshit. But
It's not confirmed until Baz Cooper says, and we all know that's
it's
Hull
not
City fans.
confirmed until Baz Cooper says it. We'll move on to current form now. Then we've stalled a lot there, but had a very, very good bit of discussion in the process. So we'll have a look at Blackpool's team then. Blackpool's current form, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had for Blackpool before the World Cup break a defeat against Luton and a defeat against Middlesbrough, and then a defeat against Wigan as well. And then since the World Cup break has been over, 2 draws, a 0-0 against Birmingham and a 1-1 against Cardiff last time out. Us, 1, 2, skip those 2 games there, 3, 4, 5. A 0-0 draw against Millwall, a 3-2 win over Cardiff away, and then just before the World Cup, a 2-1 loss to Reading at home. We had the 2 friendlies over Turkey. I'll come to you in a second, Marcus. I'll just finish this
mate. I do apologise.
And then a draw, then 2 draws against Watford and Sunderland. Marcus, over to you.
Oh, cheers, mate. Big pleasure. I was just about to say that Reading game, I felt I wouldn't take that as a loss. Obviously, it counts as a loss, but for me, we played really well, and it was only the last couple of minutes. We didn't deserve that. It was heartbreaking, and gutted is an understatement, but for me, I think we played well, and we should have really won that game. And we had the chances to nick it, but
we did.
As I say, our finishing hasn't been the greatest. Oscar Estupinian, I feel so bad for him. That penalty.
See, when he gets Ali and Tete back alongside him, or someone like Cynic next to him, he'll get so much more service.
I mean, I was speaking to him.
There might come a point in the season where we do need to switch it up and put Tete up front.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, Aliyah was signed as a striker. Ben Tete was signed as a striker. Obviously, Aliyah can play anyway. You could stick him at right back and he'd do a job. We have done that sort of thing.
Yeah, he did it. He did it at left wing back, didn't he?
I mean, that crunching challenges we've seen. I mean, at Burnley, before he got injured, he was phenomenal. Yeah, we've signed a load of strikers, haven't we? And for me, what we need to sign is a centre-back and a right winger. I know we've got loads of right wingers, but we need one that's going to start every game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And then centre-backs.
And that man is Aliyah.
Yeah.
That man is Aliyah.
I mean, we're going to have to wait and see, though, because Liam Rosenior has only had not that long with him in training, and he was a favourite under Shotter, but a lot of players don't work well.
He said in his press conference yesterday, he said, I love him already. He's absolutely brilliant in terms of his mentality and the way he plays, his values. He fits in. He's moulded exactly to how Rosenior wants to play, he says. He says just the way he plays, it's exactly what he wants from a player.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Aliyah. I mean, what a man. He's handsome as well. You can't go wrong with him. Ladies' man. He's incredible.
Ladies' man.
So you can't go wrong with him. I mean, there's nothing wrong. He's a lovely guy. He's learning English. He's a brilliant player. And it's going to be probably the end of the season when a Premier League club gets him. Because let's be honest, we can't keep hold of no one.
Nah, Premier League club won't get Ali. The Abjun project will hold him here. Guessing Greavesy will be starting at left back till he has an absolute shocker. Yeah, probably.
To be fair, though, I love Greavesy, and he's probably one of my favourite players, him and Greg Docherty. But the thing is, he's a centre-back, and we all know he's not a left-back.
I know. Greaves is a mate of mine, and he has been for many, many years. And those of you who have been here for a long time, you'll know the connection I have with Jacob Greaves, with the podcast and stuff like that. And I'd love to have a sit down and talk to him again.
Well, start up a Hull City podcast, mate.
Pardon?
So start a Hull City podcast. That'll be class.
Hey, I can't say anything live, but I'll tell you something off air. I can't say anything live. I'm sorry, I'm red taped. I can't say anything, but I'll keep you posted. When I can say something, I'll tell you something.
But he's got all the specials coming up.
All the specials, yeah.
Wait till Christmas Day. I'll have an interview out with blooming Dean Windass. You'll just see it. Well, an incredible man, Joe.
Got Dave Myler's autobiography,
Well, I've got a shirt from Poppy game against Southampton. What a memorable game that was.
This one came close. I was so close to an interview with Dave, but it just hasn't happened yet.
I'll tell you what, get Andy Cannon on, and I'm not just saying that. He's probably got loads of experience.
All right.
Nah, right, but he probably doesn't like the club just because of how things have been.
I'm hovering over the remove button after that statement.
Well, get James Scott on there.
Looking forward to a derby next season. I'm not sure. I can't work out what team you're referring to.
Yeah, we'll be playing Leeds next year in Prem, Sam. It'll be a great game. I'll tell you that.
Oh. Get Wilkes on. Get Wilkes on.
Right, well, it's been a pleasure, Joe.
Putting midfielders like Slater or Doherty won't work for a Stupinian. He needs forward-thinking players next to him like Ali Arteta or Cynic, as you've said. Putting midfielders as
you can't go wrong with Regan Slater. He's the best football player to grace the planet. Honestly, what a player Regan Slater
He's the best football player in the world.
Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane, Regan Slater. He's the best football player in the world.
I tell you what, though, when we first signed him, I was happy we got him back, but I didn't think he'd have the impact he's had. Obviously, he's a class player, and that's why Sheffield wanted him. But you can't go wrong with Regan Slater, honestly.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And I was gutted when they dropped him for a game. I was thinking, what's happening?
What's happened? We're moving on to the league table then, where we need to look a bit down here. Yeah, this is kind of a must-win game.
To be fair to you, Joe, I'd be happy with a draw, and I know we should be winning, but a draw at home's not awful.
Well,
and
yeah.
I think Blackpool, if it's like an owner problem or a manager problem, I don't know, but I think they'd be higher up than that. But my problem with Blackpool is all their teams loan players. I mean, you've got Ian Poveda, Theo Corbiano, you've got Charlie Patino, Reece Williams. You look at their team, next year they're going to be struggling if they are to stay up in the Championship. Because
they're going to be a League One team next year.
Like they say, don't fall in love with loan players. And it's hard when you got Dimitris Pelkas flying balls and giving you free Mitre balls or whatever you said, Puma balls. What a man.
Well, away from the bottom of the table, well, right from the basement anyway, if we win, we could potentially climb up to about here if results go our way. Obviously, that goal.
You're joking, to 16th. Oh, what a present.
I know. Merry Christmas.
No. Start season, we're thinking about, next year Premier League, and now we're trying to hold on. And then back up at the top, Burnley, Sheffield United, they're both incredible. Blackburn, they're there. They're clinging on. How have Coventry ended up 8th, by the way? It won't be long, mate. They'll be plumbing it in. To be fair, Reading started off class, didn't they? They were like, what, 3rd, were they, at one point?
Yeah, they were.
I don't know where they are now. I was enjoying them TikTok videos.
Swap with Cynic and bring Smith on near the end just to run, not getting McGuinness on. I'd love to get Tom Eaves on.
Oh, he's such a genuine guy, he would, though.
He is. He's incredible, isn't he? And, yeah, just wow. Just wow.
In terms of
final game of the season,
that would come on.
I saw him afterwards. That was emotional, man.
There's quite a few players that would spend time with the fans and actually do a podcast. Apart from Malik Wilkes. And I say
I'd love to chat to Malik. He's class. As a bloke, he's incredible.
I'm sure he is. I went up to him at last game of season to try and get a shirt from my dad. I said, "Hi, Malik, you all right, mate? Have you got any shirts?" "No, I haven't." He was holding a bag. About 5 or 6 shirts. See-through bag. No, I ain't got none on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, none, pal. I think Oscar should be playing for the under-23s at the minute. He has no confidence. Now,
I'll tell you what. We've got a decent academy. It's just a shame we can't win now.
Did Derby 10 points for Coventry Stadium?
I agree, 100%. All Derby's fault.
Now, Coventry, I don't get the point of saying they've got a suspended points deduction. Just say they haven't got anything then. Because you haven't given them it.
I think it is a bit unfair. Mike Ashley saying they'll save the club and then telling them to get gone at end of year. Yeah. Poor guys. Can't get.
Don't mean to work till be coming for you. This league's just so tight. We're in the mix. Yeah, a couple of wins we are. We're totally in the mix. If we get a winning run together. No, exactly. There is no need to panic. There's no need to panic. Smith up front from Aliyah on the right, Cynic on the left, Seri Wood, Slater midfield, Greaves, McLaughlin, Jones, Christie defence, Ingram in net. interesting. Ethereum US, Merry Christmas, mate.
We've got crypto.
Tete Traore, Davis. Now, I assume that means Curtis Davis. And what I'll tell you is Liam Rosenior has totally shut that down.
Well, to be honest, he's going to be a bit like Tom Huddleston, just here for laughs and experience.
In his press conference yesterday, Mike White from Radio Humberside asked Rosenior about him. Rosenior just burst out laughing. When he heard it had come from social media, he said, no, there's nothing in that. Curtis is a mate of mine, and we're talking about getting him down to watch a game at some point. But he's not in my plans at the moment because he's with Derby and he loves it there. So it's a no.
Brilliant.
But let's move on. We're going to make some more progress before we end the thing off. Moving on
joking, Joe.
Tomorrow, then, not tomorrow, on Boxing Day, the early kickoff is Watford versus Millwall. That'll be a spicy little game. At 12 o'clock, then the 12:30 kickoff is Sunderland versus Blackburn. The 3 o'clock kickoffs are us versus Blackpool, Middlesbrough versus Wigan, Preston versus Huddersfield, Rotherham versus Stoke, Sheffield United versus Coventry, and Bristol City versus West Bromwich Albion. And then the 5:15 kickoff is Cardiff versus QPR. The 7:45 kickoff is Luton versus Norwich. Day after Boxing Day, the 27th, 5:15 kickoff, Reading versus Swansea. And then 8 o'clock kickoff, Burnley versus Birmingham. We're going to...
Quick one, Joe.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Really quickly, mate. Right, for the games on Boxing Day, the teams always travel the day before. What I'm thinking is you've got all these long away trips. I can't remember the teams you've said, mate, but will they travel the day before or the morning before? Because if there's like 12 o'clock kickoffs, right, and they have to travel, I know Watford, Millwall's not far, but say there's a couple of teams that are quite far from each other. Would they have to wake up at, say, 5, 6 o'clock to get the coach down, or will they have to travel on Christmas Day and miss dinner?
I think they'd travel like late on Christmas Day, to be honest with you. Let them spend it with their families and then travel.
Well, let's hope the whole players aren't tucking into the Christmas dinners and having extras, because we need to be sharp and fit for the game.
Well, Rosenior's given them Christmas Day off.
Nah, fair enough.
He says his reasoning for that is because he said, as a player, I've done it when we've trained on Christmas Day and won the next day, trained on Christmas Day and we've lost, been off Christmas Day and we've won the next day, been off Christmas Day and we've lost the next day. He's done it all.
Yeah.
He said that the lads are psychologically fit. He said they're not big drinkers. They're not going to just start scranning everything in sight.
No. Well, I say they're not big drinkers. There's a certain player that did lose his place due to drinking.
Mr. Maddison?
No, Louis Coyle. He was hungover from his birthday. That was why
I don't think he was hungover. That was just a little joke I made.
Oh. Right, well, you've had me there, Joe. You made me look like a prat. You've made me look like a prat in front of people on YouTube.
Well, my joke came from coincidence, right? His birthday was the day before. He's ill. But no,
he could be. You never know.
He was ill for a couple of days afterwards as well. He didn't play in the game on the Tuesday.
Yeah, fair enough. Might have had gone off scampi or something. I'll say that because I'm not great at cooking.
Any news on Traore? Sort of late January, early February time. I think Shota and Keno were both drunk on their birthday when we played Barnes. Yeah, that was awful, wasn't it? My God. I'll have a watch after the stream, Ben. Don't you worry about that. And we'll return onto the course of events. Memorable match. We go back to September last year, where Tom Eaves saved us at the death against Blackpool. In goal for us that day was Matt Ingram. The defence was Louis Coyle, who was sent off, Alfie Jones, Jacob Greaves and Callum Elver. Midfield 3 was Andy Cannon, Greg Doherty and George Monker, with Ryan Longman on the right, Keane Lewis Potter on the left and Malik Wilkes up top. The bench was Nathan Baxter, Richie Smallwood, Tom Eaves, Josh Emmanuel, Nathan Baxter, Matt Smith, Tyler Smith and Sean Bernard with
what a player, honestly. I think personally, if Shota didn't get the job, Dishon would have stayed with us.
Yeah,
He was a quality player. I mean, he was just known for he would never take a touch and just oof it. That was his.
That was
flying
the meta.
kicks, mate. But I tell you what, you can't go wrong with Dishon Bernard.
You can't. What a baller. What a baller. And then last time out against these lots, it was a 3-1 win at Blumfield Road early this year, back on the 19th of October. Ryan Longman opened the scoring with Kenny Dougal levelling it on. And just on the stroke of half-time, Greg Doherty
scored a strike
screamer before Regan Slater wrapped the points up with 10 to go. Our team that day was Nathan Baxter in goal, back four, Cyrus Christie, Tobias Figueiredo, Alfie Jones and Jacob Greaves. Midfield three of Ryan Woods, Jean-Michael Seri and Regan Slater, with Pelkas and Doherty the wingers and Ryan Longman through the middle. The bench was Matt Ingram, Ozan Tufan, Durkan Sinek, Sean McLaughlin, Oscar Estupinian, Brandon Fleming and Will Jarvis, with Andy Dawson in interim charge that day. And then we'll quickly move on to the record, which represent our, most representative ones against Blackpool are our last 5 there. So a defeat in our first game against them since New Year's Day 2013 at Blumfield Road, where we managed to equalise in the 89th minute and still lost. Good one. Then 2 consecutive draws on the 16th of January 2021 at our place, and then on September the 28th, 2021, again at our place. The first in League One, the second in the Championship. And then on New Year's Day this year, we lost at Blumfield Road, and then we travelled back to Blumfield Road in October and won 3-1.
Oh, what a day that
was. A
was.
mixed bag.
What did you just say, Joe? Sorry, I'm just completely blank.
Bag.
Aye, precisely. To be fair, though, I am confident today for Boxing Day. I am. I think we're going to nick it. I'm going to go 1-0. I don't know that we're doing score predictions. I just thought we will.
Not quite yet. Not quite yet.
Oh, sorry. I'll change it up. I'll go for something else then. Sorry, Joe.
If our French keeper from Spurs is our best with his feet, want to give him a chance? Yeah, I kind of agree. Players coming out with how undershotted players didn't really know what they were doing, so wonder how. We started the season so well because Alayar and Tete dragged us forward, and then it all sort of fell apart.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree, mate. As soon as Alayar got injured, it was
the season changed, didn't it?
Precisely. It's weird to say how much the Iranian Messi has helped us, in a sense. He's too good. The
Iranian.
Potato. That's what it is.
I've already read that. Thank God Coyle was sent off. It forced McCann to play 3-5-2. Anyway, shared shirts. Tommins. My God. Was
class for us.
From 2011 to 2014, 133 appearances, 33 goals. Signed for us, was with us for a year, was crap, 13 appearances, and scored just the once.
Who was it? He had like a really good breakout season in the Championship. I can't remember. It was either Cardiff or somewhere else, and he was like the top goal scorer at some point.
It was at Blackpool.
No, I was thinking he had a big future. He was like his dad, and it just never worked out, did it?
Yeah, he made his name at Blackpool, then moved to Crystal Palace on loan. Then we got him, I think.
Aye. Have you seen about Dele Alli? I'm going to completely change the subject. What's happening with Dele Alli? Honestly. I mean, he was going to be one of the best in the world.
It's all right having the talent, but you've got to have the attitude as well.
That's what I say about Malik Wilkes, to be fair.
And on that note, I'm going to move on to my predicted team then. Rosenior, I think he'll stick with the 4-3-3. In goal, Matt Ingram will remain. At right back, Louis Coyle, the captain. Centre back, Cyrus Christie and Sean McLaughlin. I think that will remain unchanged. And left back, Jacob Greaves. In central midfield, I think Ozan Tufan alongside Ryan Woods and John Michael Seri. On the right, Regan Slater. On the left, I think Gurkhan Sinik will come in. And up top, Oscar Estupinian. The bench, Timothy Luttatala, Alfie Jones, Tobias Figueiredo, Greg Doherty, Alaya Sayadmanesh, Ryan Longman, Brandon Fleming. So that's
to be
two
fair,
changes.
Joe, I'm gonna disagree on one thing.
What are you gonna
For
disagree
me,
on?
I see Ryan Longman starting no matter what. It's one of those. I think Ozan probably should start, but it's whether he can start, because thing about Ozan is he's that good and on the ball he's the best at the club, but can he start a full game, or would we rather have that little bit of quality at the end of the game, say come on 50th 60th minute, where he can play his heart out for the rest of the game, or he's not too cautious of playing too much and then getting subbed off at half time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I still think we could do with his creativity.
And I hope Harvey Vale's on the bench as well.
Oh, who's this in chat?
Hi, Mum.
Afternoon, Jane. Merry Christmas.
Am I doing you proud, Mum? I'm on old Grandpa Joe's YouTube. I'm doing well. I made it.
To be fair, I kind of agree with you, Mother. Greg's really unlucky that he's just dipped out the team.
No, precisely, yeah.
In my team, actually, yes, he would be slightly ahead of Seri and Woods. He wouldn't be a third holding midfielder, don't worry.
To be fair, Ryan Woods is one of those
players.
players.
Fanning behind.
Ryan Woods is one of those players where he doesn't do a lot, but he secretly does. I mean, without him, we really do need him. But if you ask a Hull City fan, what's Ryan Woods done for Hull City, they'd say not a lot. But in fact, he's one of those players. Without him, we struggle. But
he's like Smallwood last season. He goes so unnoticed in games.
Right, precisely. Yeah.
He just keeps us ticking.
I was surprised. Smallwood is not League Two quality, but I'm suppose he's found his place now because he's not doing the brilliant, not the best. I'll start one again, Joe.
Yeah, you know what, Marcus? Yeah. Welcome back.
Hi, Joe. It's a pleasure having me on. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I'm gonna say Ryan.
Well, we'll wait for Marcus to calm down. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, pal. Okay, Marcus.
Hi, Joe. You all right, mate? Yeah. For me, Smallwood's better than Bradford quality, but he's found his place because he's not doing the best in League Two.
There we go.
I'm not going to adapt anymore. I've gone red face. And that's not because it's not in my... Thank you. Honestly, I'd like to thank my mum.
If I had one of them confetti cannons handy, mate, I'd set it off for you, but I don't.
Oh, well, thank you. I'd like to dedicate this live stream to my mother downstairs and my grandma.
What a woman.
Honestly.
Merry Christmas, Jane. Woods
cheers, Mum.
Against QPR. Hello, Seljuk. Is it good enough for top of the league? At the moment, no. But if we win some games, we can get in the top 6.
I'd like to say, I think there's more chance. I'm not trying to be rude. There's more chance of us coming top of League One next year. To be fair, I don't even know how many points we're off top at league this year, but there's more chance of me losing weight than there is.
47, I think, and I think we're on 24.
47 points? Oh, no, right, sorry. That's not the difference. Yeah, to be fair, it's possible, but...
It's going to need a miracle.
To be fair, if we start Figueiredo, we'll win every game, and that's what I'm standing by. He's a rock at the centre-back.
Right, you're going to get bullied then.
Bring it my way.
I have a feeling some opinionated people in chat may come for you, Marcus.
Well, if you'd like the email address, just give me a message. We'll be all good.
Christie has been one of our best players. You too, Josh. And good afternoon,
Mr.
Sarah. And have a nice Christmas, Ben. You too. Just focus on survival and build for next season. Exactly the way to go. Now, Marcus.
Now then, Joe.
Take it away.
Have
you seen the banner change?
What? Oh, predicted score. Right, sorry, I thought you were just giving me control of it. For me, I'm going to stay optimistic, and it's going to be a very tough game. Two very well-balanced sides who probably deserve better than what the table says. And for me, there's only going to be one result, and it's going to be a good result. It's going to be 0-0. What a performance. And I think it's going to be a red card for one man. And I think it's going to be a Ryan Woods red card to bring Greg Docherty on and take off. I'll probably say Sean McLaughlin in the 62nd minute. And I think we're going to absolutely batter them for the rest of it. And it's going to be a great, clean sheet for them. And we're going to go home happy because we haven't lost. And for me, it's going to be one of those games where you think we should have taken more out of it. We should have pressured them better, but it wasn't the result to be. And I also think Charlie Patino is going to have a man of the match performance with a 98% pass accuracy. So a high scoring game for me, 0-0.
Okay. Thank you for your contribution, Marcus.
I know,
I'm
it's been a
more
pleasure, Joe.
optimistic. I'm on the side of Lewis and Josh in chat. 2-0 win. Come on.
But you're optimistic, mate.
Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Figurito. Let them know it's Christmas time. Leo, that's brilliant.
I'll tell you what, Leo, that's mint. I mean, so that creativity, mate, we need you at centre-back. We need creativity at centre-back.
But to Forest Fannyton, before they got promotion, when Figs was playing till Christmas, they were near the bottom. As soon as they dropped him, they got promotion.
Well, I'd just like to say the disrespect you've given to Figueiredo there. I don't think it's actually Figs' fault. I think he's one of those players where you need to play him at his proper position and tactics. And I think under someone like Shotter, he was absolutely fantastic.
Well, I assume this applies to what you said there. Call George Monker. Someone needs cleansing of this.
Now, cheers, Ashley. I appreciate that one. All the best to you and your family.
Your mother reckons 2-1 to City. Greg and Jacob to score. Charlie Patino for Blackpool. And on that, from Jane, that is where we're going to end the preview.
I think we should double it for 1 minute and 50 seconds until it gets to an hour, and then we can say we've done a full hour. So, Joe, what have you got planned for Christmas, mate?
Read me little early Christmas present. All 18 chapters of it, plus the epilogue.
Brilliant, mate. I've been watching Christmas films. We've got The Elf. We've had Christmas Chronicles. It's not really classic, but it's a decent film. And today we'll go for Home Alone.
Ooh. Did you know Home Alone was not actually shot in the house?
You're joking.
They shot it. They didn't want it to be shot in New York because it's all like busy and stuff like that. So they did it out in Chicago. They found a house and they liked the look of it from the outside, but inside it was too small for the crew to move around.
Ooh,
so what they did was they rebuilt the inside of the house in a school sports hall, bigger, so the crew could move around.
I'll tell you another fun fact.
The only time the actual house is used is for those wide shots in the film.
Oh, brilliant, Joe. You know what? You learn something new every day. And I'm going to give you a fun fact. In Elf, I don't know whether you've watched Elf, Joe, but there's scenes where he wanders around the city and there's a man who looks exactly like Santa. He's wearing red with a white beard. And he actually wasn't an actor. So the Elf, they didn't have a budget. And he just wandered around and act stupid around New York. And all the people in there weren't actors. They were just getting on. So when he got pushed by the newspaper people, they weren't actually actors. They were just sick of his... Well, I'm not... Yeah, we'll go with nonsense, Joe.
And on that note, have a very, very Merry Christmas, everybody. Marcus, thank you for your contributions. We've now hit
Tell you what, it's been a Christmas Eve to remember.
Indeed, it has.
It has, Joe. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. You too, Joe. Enjoy your David Mile book. I'll be sat watching whatever's on telly. And subscribe to me on YouTube. And Joe, there we go. Free clout.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution, Marcus. If you want to hang around, I'll speak to you after I've gone off air. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, and I will see you on Boxing Day for the Matchday vlog from this from this Blackpool game. Have a very merry and safe Christmas to all those who are celebrating. If you're not celebrating, I hope you stay very, very safe. And I will see you all on Boxing Day. Goodbye.